Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for May 2nd through the 8th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so Sagittarius, this week we have a new moon in your 5th house of self-expression, creativity, playfulness, fun, all of that lighthearted stuff of life. So, of course, this manifests differently for each of you individually. But the essence of this is about your self-expression. So the key is that this is going to be on Friday. And so as we approach Friday and even after, there is this lowering of energy. All right, it's a good time to really listen during this time. Maybe reflect. Write those intentions down if you have any regarding your passions or interests or anything you're creating in life or wanting to create. And a lot of this is not only reflective because of the new moon, but Mercury's retrograde in this 5th house too. Has been retrograde since last week. So it's a good time for you guys to be rethinking how you express yourself, rethinking what your passions are, what your interests are, what your hobbies are. What are those things that are close to the heart? You know, this is the part of the chart which is about the fire, the energy. In fact, this new moon is going to be very supportive. It's forming a kite. And this kite is forming a grand trine in your fire houses. So this is your 9th house, which is where you've had your ruler Jupiter, helping you see the possibilities in life. At least it's been reflective. You guys are rethinking that stuff, but that's about to move forward on Monday. Jupiter's going to go direct next week. So you guys are going to be coming out of this more internalized time next week and seeing more of those outward possibilities with the life path. Maybe a bit of that adventure. It's trining up to that Pluto has been in your 1st house. So this has been big changes with you guys, with yourself. You know, really making whatever changes are necessary for you to let go of old habit patterns, old belief systems, old attachments over many years. But this is all being very supported this week. It's all supporting, I think, these new beginnings relating to your self-expression. And the other side of it too is it's sextiling up to Neptune with the kite. You know, this has been that it's been so important for you guys to release and just let go when it comes to your communication, when it comes to the mind, when it comes to the things in your immediate environment or the concerns and the way you think about things. Neptune in the 3rd house is a great opportunity to bring presence to the mind, to the self, to how you communicate. And I think that's going to be very supportive, although a lot of this stuff is uncertain and, you know, confusing even perhaps with this Saturn squaring both Neptune and Jupiter in terms of what is possible, where are things going, we don't really know. But this week, there's a bit of this support, at least an opportunity to have a bit more of that surrender. And that faith and trust, that acceptance. And it's that acceptance that's really creating that peace and that easygoingness, which is just an opportunity for, which is that sextile, but it's certainly available. Now, one thing I want to say about this Mercury retrograde is not only are you guys reflecting on this week and for the next couple of weeks, your self-expression, but also your relationships, since Mercury rules your 7th house. A good week for continuing to reflect on those, that area. Also reflecting and perhaps redoing some things around your career, around your productive life, and bringing extra attention to that as well with that Mercury retrograde. And there could be some new beginnings with these things because that new moon is going to be conjoining up to both Mercury and Venus. So it could be a new beginning with your career on some level, with relationships on some level, through what you're learning and through what it might just be a perspective of what what's coming to you at this time about that. And again, so that you can have a bit more of this playfulness, lightheartedness of that 5th house. Or to create, if it's a bit more on the serious note for you. You know, your creation. And Venus is here, not only helping you connect to perhaps your creative side, or those hobbies and interests, but you could have some new beginnings with your work in terms of your daily activities, maybe with your routine, your regiments, maybe even with friends this week. There's a lot of newness about all of this. So in terms of the actual transits, they're all involved with this new moon. And so Monday and Tuesday, the sun is going to be trining up to Jupiter. And so with this one, Monday and Tuesday in particular, there could be a bit of that self-expression really coming through, because your ruler is the dominant energy here. And then that means the sun is trining up to you. So you have the support to express, to see, and you know, perhaps even communicate and share with that Mercury very close by, to share yourself, to express yourself, share who you are with others, with those around you. Could be a very good couple days for that. And again, maybe that creative or lighthearted stuff could come quite easy those couple days. Then Friday is that new moon. Then as we go into the weekend, we have that trine up to Pluto exact. So it's an excellent weekend for really diving deep within self and seeing where there might be some old patterns or old conditioned things, not only with self that can be released as it has been, but with your self-expression, with the things you want to create, or the things that are close to your heart, where you can let go of old beliefs about them, old emotional patterns regarding them, which then creates that pureness, that space, and that support, and that clean slate in many ways too with this new moon, because it is, although this is in fire houses and they're all in fire signs, you know, the new moon is a time where it's still new, right? And it's still a lowering of energy. So although there might be inspiration, there might be optimism, there might be all of that, it's a time of listening, right, around Friday. And then as we go into next week, of course, that energy starts to move forward a bit more externally. Now also over the weekend, Mercury does trine up to the North Node. So this is furthering the insights and the support. And I think here the insights about your life path perhaps over the weekend. More information about that perhaps. About what you're learning, about what your passions are, and how that can directly support the things that inspire you, or the things that you see as possible in life. And that life direction, that adventurous spirit, which, like I said, is going to start to move forward after your ruler goes direct again, going into next week. But over the weekend, great again for the self-expression, great for those relationships perhaps, learning about them. Great for career, if that's the case. Productive things over the weekend could be supportive. You're learning about that as well. And a bit of that adventurousness, that inspiration. All right, so those are the fire houses and fire signs. Very deep, very powerful. New transformations occurring with your self-expression. New possibilities you're perhaps seeing with that are being integrated with self. And new beginnings with what you enjoy or what you are discovering about yourself. How to have some of that fun and playfulness. And ultimately, with the fifth house, express yourself. And in which medium and in which way, and all those kinds of details which Mercury's figuring out with that retrograde. All right, so Sagittarius, have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you all next week.